To those only keeping track of The Boys TV show, it may come as a surprise that 3 of the most prominent women on the show were originally male characters in the comics. These changes to the cast of The Boys were meaningful for the show's most intense soup, Homelander. Born a soup through artificial means, Homelander never had a true parent, and this detail is an important part of his character. Homelander's origins are as horrible as they are revealing. The trauma of being raised by scientists as nothing more than an experiment manifests in Homelander's relationships with women. Some of Homelander's most important scenes are with women who might never have existed if the show had written every character exactly as they appeared in the comics, a concept that will surely be explored further in The Boys' forthcoming Season 4. For example, Homelander's relationship with Madeline Stillwell is short-lived due to his own actions, but until Stillwell's gruesome and untimely death, Homelander treats Stillwell like a sexualized replacement for the mother he never had. The original Stillwell from the comics could never have delivered the kind of context for Homelander that Madeline offers. The Boys TV show gender swaps 3 characters from the comics. The showrunners attempt to address a representation issue. The Boys' James Stillwell. Introducing several newly turned women to The Boys was intentional. The show's creators knew that The Boys comics had a history of fridging women, and they sought to avoid the same tropes and criticisms. Stormfront, Victoria Newman, and Madeline Stillwell are all adapted from male characters in the comics, and as women, they relate to Homelander in ways their male predecessors could not. In fact, the influence these characters have on the show's version of Homelander is their biggest contribution to the series. While the characters themselves have great potential, their canonical storylines tend to be flimsy. The unfortunate side effect of including women for the sake of gender diversity, as opposed to including them because they have value on their own merits, is that these characters don't have much to offer outside their relationships with men. Those relationships are not always romantic or sexual but are still usually the most interesting thing about an artificially adapted female character. If they're given the opportunity to shine independently of the male character to whom they've previously been attached, there is typically a lot of work for the writers to do to fully flesh out a previously shallow character. Changing these characters' genders makes Homelander's character arc even better. The treatment of women in The Boys isn't great, but there's a reason for that. VOD industry's diversity issues are a subject of criticism in the show, but in real life, The Boys makes a point of including women in important roles. The Boys has no shortage of women among the main cast. The women who interact with Homelander are used for a particular purpose, developing his character. These women make Homelander more compelling. They decorate his personality and demonstrate how obsessive and damaged he is. Their existence makes Homelander far more multidimensional. The gender-swapped characters of Stillwell, Stormfront, and Newman have a particular impact on Homelander's character and how he is perceived. The dynamic between Homelander and Madeline Stillwell is one where the power is constantly shifting. Without Homelander's relationship with Stillwell, his character's vulnerability might never be exposed. When Stormfront enters Homelander's world, he feels he has met someone who understands his ruthlessness and passion. Without Stormfront, Homelander would feel less validated, which could affect his confidence. In a complicated series of exchanges with Victoria Newman, Homelander reveals the depths of his ability to calculate and execute his plans to get exactly what he wants. Without Newman, Homelander's ability to strategize may not have been highlighted as clearly. The Boys fixes a comic complaint by adding more women. The women of The Boys are plentiful, but they exist as props. Stormfront is denounced and scorned from the Seven. The issue of comics representation has been addressed with the addition of more women to The Boys, and although Stillwell died at the hands of Homelander and Stormfront almost died, simply having a larger number of women in the show has helped improve The Boys' treatment of women overall. Stillwell and Stormfront were powerful players in previous seasons, and Newman has been allowed to develop beyond simply furthering Homelander's story with the help of The Boys' spin-off series, Gen V. However, the show has still run the risk of not allowing the gender-bent characters to develop their own stories.